Now, Miss Monalisa, you are cordially invited to come, speak, and enlighten people through your wonderful, amazing, immense, impeccable speech. Thank you so much, Miss Monalisa.
You, sir. First of all, thank you, all of you present here, for your presence in this end of year 2020 and in this amazing evening. Really, this means a lot to me. But to make sure that the year 2021 will be amazing, note that today we will be walking through a topic that has the ability to make the coming year 2020 the best year of life it would be if you follow the principles. In fact, this is the first step that is required to fulfill our life, and we can make it our new year resolution for the year 2021. And the Christmas Santa gift for this year will be the importance of goal setting. So let's get started on the topic. As every one of us know, what is the goal? If I explain it in one word, the goal is equal to direction. In life, if you don't have a goal, you don't have a direction. If you are planning to have a goal, then you are finding your direction, you are finding your destination, where you are going to reach in life. You are just trying to make your life successful. So let's go ahead about the topic. We will go details about the topic. Let us take an example of an envelope. Suppose you want to post an envelope in a particular address, but if you don't mention the address on the envelope, what do you think? Where do the envelope will reach? Right, nowhere. Where it will go? If you are trying to send it by a courier, definitely it needs an address. Likewise, in life, goal is the address. It is the particular direction so that we will reach at our particular destination by making our life's journey very successful. Otherwise, we are just living a meaningless life, having or reaching nowhere else. That means we are walking in a multiple direction. If we are not setting a goal, then we are just walking in a multiple direction. Let me clarify you with another amazing example. Suppose there is a very big, huge ship, but it's without a radar, which sets the direction of the ship. If there is no radar in the ship, where do the ship will go? Where it will reach? It will go nowhere. So that will be the condition of a human being. If the man or woman is not having any goal, they are not setting any goal in their life, they don't have any direction to go, they are directionless, like the way Arjuna was in the beginning of the Mahabharata, in the Bhagavad Gita as recited. We will go deep into it. So I will share some facts about it. You will be surprised to know the facts why the people are actually failing in achieving their goal in life. Why they fail? The first thing is that people are actually afraid. They don't want to give any try. They are afraid of the failures. They're afraid, if I will face this, then if I will be the failure, what they will think. If I will be this, then what she will think. If I am jobless, then what will be my impression in the society? Because the people are lacking the self-realization. They don't understand themselves first. They don't have a definite plan or strategy for themselves. Self-realization is lacking in them. So if I share something with you, the facts are, you will be surprised to know that only 2% of this planet Earth people has a clearly defined goals. So what does that mean? What about the rest people? The rest population are just leading a meaningless life. just a clueless life. But what does that mean? Does it mean that they are not working hard? No. Yes, the people are working very, very hard. But why they don't achieve? They don't achieve their goal. They don't reach to the particular destination successfully. The reason is that they don't work smart. And the next point I want to narrate here is, people, when we ask people what is important in life, doing the right things, or doing things rightly. People often say that whatever you do, just do it rightly. But it is not the exact thing what people think, that it's actually not the correct perspective to think about. It's the selection of people that they always select the wrong things. And if we pick up the wrong things and we expect a right result out of that, how is it that possible? It's not at all possible. So what we need to do is just to pick up the right thing and work upon it so that we will reach in a right destination. In Hindi, we can say, अगर आपकी दिशा ही गलत है तो दशा कितनी भी अच्छी हो, no matter how hard you continue, you will end up reaching in a very wrong place very, very fast if you keep on running by after picking a wrong thing with you. So, failing to plan is same as planning to fail. It's just equivalent with that. That means you are just planning to fail. You are not planning for your success actually. So it is the utmost important thing in life to plan very, very perfectly. No doubt, in the beginning, initial stage, we will not be a perfect planner. But at least we must initiate from small plannings that we will be discussing later while covering up our topic. Think of a goal as your final destination. If you don't know what your final destination is there any way to plan on how to get there? No. Because you don't know. Actually, you don't recognize where you have to go. You don't know at all. So that is equivalent to no goal means you are having no direction. Am I clear to everyone? I hope so. So, the next thing we are going to learn is the definition of goal. What is goal actually? The goal, it can be a dream. It is always attainable. First, we need to see a dream to achieve something in life. That will increase your passion to go after the dream, to chase the dream. We have to chase the dream. Then it is always attainable. And goal is something which is always measurable. You can measure it. It has a time limit. It is always within your control. And it must be always in writing. Because just by seeing a dream, just chasing after a dream, you will just forget everything. So always it should be in a written form. If we include all the above points, then we can conclude it as a goal. So let's put some light upon Bhagavad Gita. In Gita, in the initial stage, Arjuna was directionless. He don't know how to take the decision. What shall he do in such circumstance? And there, Lord Krishna, he was the friend of Arjuna. He helped him as a teacher, as a guide, as a mentor, as a counselor. So in life too, we need a counselor to being a counselee. We need to find a mentor for ourselves, to be a mentee. We have to find a teacher for ourselves who will guide us in a proper way. Always we must be surrounded with positive people, positive, optimistic people. So here you can see in the screen is there Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi Ekah Kurunandana. What does that mean? Let us take the words. Vyavasahi. Vyavasahi means your responsibilities, your duty. Atmika, that is me, Arjuna. buddhi, your intelligence. It must go focused. Ekah means one direction. You must focus completely on what you want to achieve. Your vision must be so clear that you must be able to see your goal perfectly, having not a single doubt inside your mind. That will lead you to success. No one in this universe can stop you to achieve that goal. So that is what Lord Krishna tried to make us understand in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, I agree. There are different professions. For a teacher, Vyavashay is different. For a advocate or lawyer, it is different. For a student, it is different. The student responsibilities is to learn, study, to follow the parents' advice, to follow the teacher's advice. That is their responsibilities. And for a devotee, his devotion is his Vyavashay. So this, when these all three, everyone, no doubt the Vyavashay is different. But if they keep on working, keep on concentrating with full concentration, hard work, perseverance, and sincerity, no one in this universe can stop the guy to reach the goal. I know, if you get a multiple branch of intelligence, that will disturb you. So, if you have a multiple branch of intelligence, you are thinking 100 other things, then just cut them off. First, you need to concentrate on the topic, what you want, actually you want. Your views, your thoughts must be very, very realistic one. Everyone must be aware of MAP. What is that? That means one is having multiple choices in life. I want that, I want these, and being after that, those multiple choices, he cannot conclude in one place. They are becoming very away from the key result area, just for their self gratification. And human being is always engrossed with desires. Even if small things, the human being want to fulfill it and say himself a king. Okay, I am the king of my mind. I can do anything. Whatever comes to my mind, I just do it. No one is there to tell me no, you don't do it. I am the king of my mind. How come you are the king? Actually, the mind is instructing you to do that. So you are just a slave. You are not the master of your mind. But according to Bhagavad Gita, it is being said, be the control of your mind. Unless and until you control your mind, nothing you can achieve in life. Because mind always wants the comfort. It wants the luxury. So, my dear friends, we have to control our mind first. And it has various techniques how to control, how to be cool down. Many processes are there. So my point was, ekah, only in one direction. Don't be the slave of mind. Mind will teach you many things. It will give you lots more dictation. If you keep on taking the dictation of mind, then you are going to end up in a wrong place. Don't have to think about 100 other things. So sincerely, you have to be clear about your goals and you must work upon it. You must not think about the multiple enjoyments. If you keep upon working up in the multiple enjoyments, then that will lead to downward integrity syndrome. So what is downward integrity syndrome? When you concentrate yourself in multiple directions, so many options will come around you. Okay, today's weather is fine, let me go out, we'll have something. You will just chill and you will just enjoy your life in this way. Seriously, you won't work. You will plan to work, you will try to give 100%, but you will never give your 100%. That is called downward integrity syndrome. And the first day, you will think, okay, out of 100%, I will give 90%. Then what will happen? You will lapse 10% there. Your 10% of effort will be lapsed. And in the next day, you will think, okay, what you are going to do is, you will do 90% of that 90%. So, again 10% you are lacking. So you are doing only 80%. And then the graph goes more down. You will do 80% of that 80%. So again 10% you are lacking. And so on. You will go on decreasing day by day, you will be down and down and down. So that is called downward integrity syndrome. So let us go for another example to make you more clear. That is a very interesting one. That is the Arjuna with Guru Dronacharya. The story was, I know everyone know this story. So let us learn from it. Once upon a time, Guru Dronacharya, he took Kauravas and Pandavas to a jungle. And there he asked Duryodhan to observe what he can see. And Duryodhan replied, I can see a tree, a branch, I can see branches, I can see leaves, I can see a bird also. So he is answering in multiple ways. Then Gurudev said, stand aside. Then he called another student of him. He called Yudhishthir. Then Yudhishthir answered, yes, Gurudev, I can also see the tree, the leaves, the branches and bird. That's it. And finally, when Bhima was called, he said, Gurudev, I can see the mangoes. If you want, I can bring them for you also. So Bhima was only concentrating upon the mangoes on the tree. But the sole aim of Guru was to hit the eye of the bird. Hit the eye of the bird. So now finally the turn of Arjuna came. Then Gurudev asked, Arjuna, what you are able to see? Gurudev, I'm able to see only the eye of the bird. Arjuna, you cannot see anything around you? Your friends are there, your brothers are there, many other things are there. Can't you see that? No, Gurudev. The only thing I see, the eye of the bird. Oh, can't you see me? I'm your Guru. No, Gurudev. I cannot see you also. The only thing I am seeing is only the eye of the bird. So after that, we all know what happened. Arjuna just hit the eye of the bird. So that is called the power of concentration. Ekaha. Krishna has never narrated their Dwaha, Trayaha, Chauraha, Pancha. He only said one. Ekaha, only in one direction. So we have to cultivate all the positivity inside us. We have to be very strongly determined. We have to be very clarified in our thought process, planning process. How to achieve our goal? What is our main goal actually? That must be focused. So that is all about the example of Guru Dronacharya. So multiple desire will come and go, but the thing is that I agree. We are after all human beings. We want to enjoy everything in life. Many things will come, but the thing is that we must regulate it. We have to regulate ourselves. And according to the time, according to the situation, not forgetting about our goal, our sole purpose, we must regulate everything. Then the things will set in place. That is the catch. So my dear friend, after so many narration, I hope you have understood what is goal actually. It must be clarified to you. So now we will learn the tips. Some tips I have collected, almost 5 tips only. So these are the very easy steps we can follow. So first step is unlock your potential. You have to take the charge. And the third one is true goals. Fourth one is planning. And final one is measuring. You have to measure your progress. So let us learn one by one with the help of examples. So what do you think? What would be? Unlock your potential. The first thing to achieve your goal is to understand yourself first. As we are the most intelligent species of this planet Earth, First, we must understand, we must look for our possibilities, not the limitations. Let us take the example of a pigeon. If we take a pigeon from a nest, from its nest, and we will bring it to our home, and we will put it in a cage. You can see in the diagram here, in the picture it is clearly shown in the slide. So in the second picture, the pigeon is inside a net in a cage. And finally what you will do? You will cover the pigeon in a blanket. After that, put the pigeon in a vehicle and then go far miles away. So after some time, just stop the vehicle and set the pigeon free. You know what will happen then? The pigeon will take 4 or 5 flies in the sky, and after that, finally, from where it will just reach to that nest, to its nest. So that's the thing. And pigeon is regarded as the most superior creature in animal kingdom. So we are much more than the pigeon. We are the human beings. We are the most intelligent. We are the most superior creatures. We are more than pigeons. If pigeon can find out its goal, never forgets anything, how could we? So we must first clarify ourselves, must understand ourselves. Unlock means we have to find out our hidden potentials. What is our power? How expensive we are. No person in this universe is inexpensive. Everyone is expensive in their own way. So first we have to learn ourselves what we are, what are our hidden potential, what we can do, what is our capacity, what is our possibilities. Don't take the limitations in your life. After all, we are human beings. And for example, we have seen many from our human spaces. They have done wonders, they have done miracles. So, my friends, we have to find out our hidden potentials so that we will know ourselves first. We can take the example of Arunima Sinha, everyone knows. She made an accident and with a broken leg, she reached to Bachandari Pal. And see her guts. She was trying to climb the Mount Everest. No doubt, physically she was handicapped, but mentally she was never. So we can have endless hope or hopeless ends. That is our choice. Hope this point is clear to everyone. What is unlocked potential? So in the next slide is that second point is take the charge. The second step we have to follow is take the charge. Taking the charge means taking the responsibility. You have to take your responsibility. You cannot blame anyone for your circumstances. You have to take your responsibilities. And I can make you clear by one more example. Let us take, there were 2 men, and at the recession they were terminated by the company. So from the 2 men, the first man, he was thinking, he abused the boss like anything. Then he started to be in a very frustrating mood. He started revolting against the company. Whatever the earnings he have, he planned, I will definitely file a case on the company just to take the revenge. And on the other side, the second man, he was cool. He just think about the matter very positive way. He never allowed the negative emotions to enter inside his mind. And he kept thinking that might be the company was not getting enough benefit from me, from my side. That might be the reason why boss has removed me from this company. So the first thing I am going to do is I will work so hard, so sincerely, that I will not run after the job. The job will come after me. As everyone knows, in 3 Idiots we have learned what Amir Khan was trying to teach us. So we have to develop our quality in such manner so that people will be after us, not we. No one in this world can ignore you then. If you are a very valuable thing, and that valuable you have to make yourself. No one can help you out. Only your mindset is important then. Because we can see two variables, two men facing the same problem. But the first man, he just accumulated the negative emotions inside his mind. And the second man, he just thought positive. And after 1 or 2 years, the man, he got a new job. And so well he was going with his life. So what happened with the first man? The first man was hopeless. He was abusive. He cultivated all the negative emotions, and finally, he was jobless for a lifetime. So this is the difference if we do not take the charge of ourselves. So to stop these negative emotions, we have to stop doing these 4 things. The first thing we have to do is just stop justifying your negative emotions. You don't have to justify to everyone. You don't have to give space inside your brain for negative emotions. Don't ever. Don't give a single aperture so that this emotion will get entered inside your brain. No. You have to work hard to remain positive, become optimistic all the time. If not, you have to try the ways, you have to find the ways to be one. And the second point is stop rationalizing your negative emotions. Oh, for example, I was the best, actually. I was fighting for them. Finally, I became the victim. It was not my fault. Actually, the company's fault it was. No, you cannot do that. You have to stop rationalizing your negative emotions. You have to just stop that. And third one is that every one of us do is we have to stop giving attention to others' opinions. We don't have to think more about what others will think. If I am jobless, what the neighbor will think, what she will think, what he will think. No. Important is what you think about yourself. And for yourself, you must be respectful towards your thought processes, what you are thinking about yourself. You must give that much of respect to yourself. Self-respect is what is very important here. Don't give any attention to other people's opinion. It will just lead you, it will just downfall you. And the fourth one is blaming others for own situations. You don't have to case a file on the institution, on the company. It was you. Because of you only, you will remove from the company. No one is responsible for that. So take the charge, take your responsibility, accept it. If something wrong is happening with you, so what was the lacuna that was lacking inside you which made this situation in your life? So find out that, take the charge, be responsible about that, and finally go ahead in life. Hope so this point is understood by everyone. The next point is we have to set true goals. What is true goals? True goals are the realistic goals. If I say, what will be your life after 5 years? If you are leading a successful life, imagine yourself, your life after 5 years. Then how will you answer these questions? Just imagine. How will be your lifestyle after 5 years? What work you will be doing after 5 years? How much you will be earning? Which car you will be driving? Which business you will be doing? Yes, these are the realistic expectations from life everyone has. We cannot ignore this. Everything the man needs is the food, shelter and clothes and luxury. All of us want that. That is what making us work so hard. So we have to set realistic goals. Brian Tracy, in a survey, he found that the people who were living continuously an average life, a mediocre life, Suddenly they started living a very successful, a luxurious, comfortable life. So what was the reason? You might have observed in your friend circle too. So what was the reason? From just a mediocre, poor life, the guy is living a very successful life. What was the reason behind it? So a concept was developed. That concept is known as the blue skies concept. So what is blue sky? Blue sky concept is to make goals or set goals while looking at the sky, not at the limitations. What I am repeatedly telling, don't go for the limitations, go for the possibilities. After all, we are human beings. Self-realization is very important. We can see in the slide how the man is just watching at the sky and enjoying. Instead of thinking by looking at the ground, a person sets a goal by looking at the sky. That means while setting a goal, the person is having no limitations at all. He doesn't care what problems will come in front of him. He doesn't care what people will think. He doesn't care. He is only concerned about what he wants, how he will achieve that, what are the possible ways to achieve that. Only that he thinks. What are his capacities? What are his possibilities? After all, we are human beings. We are the most intelligent species in this planet. So, what we will do by thinking, by setting the goals, one more thing we have to do here is to jot down everything, because without writing, we can't follow anything. We have to write it down. We have to have an eye upon it every day, every single day. We must be involved with our dream, with our goals. And the fourth point is that the easy step is planning. And planning must have to be very perfect one. And this also I can make you understand by the help of an example. Let's go for another example. So, once upon a time, there was a startups of 50 companies. And out of that 50 companies, only 25 companies were there who have set plannings, who have made plannings, how they are going to work out their plans. So what happened after a year or two, in a survey it was found, the companies who have made plans were more successful comparison to them who have never made a plan. But you know, the most interesting thing here, they made a plan. The successful companies made a plan, but never ever they never look at the plan after making the plan. So what would be the interesting thing here? The interesting thing was they have set their plan so perfectly that they don't even look at the plan anymore. So that was the path for success for those companies. So the thing we have to do is to plan very perfect. No doubt, according to the time, it is variable thing. It keeps on changing. Our plan will also change according to the situation, according to the circumstances. Each day is not equal. So our plan will definitely change according to the situations. So we have to deal with us according to our situation. So that is why the process of planning is very important. Very, very important it is. We have to make the perfect plans. But one question comes here. To make perfect plans, we have to first very clarified about our goals. You can see in the picture, a mingled of mind and a very clear mind you can observe here. And in the mingled of mind, we don't like to see or look at that plan also. And when we properly plan, the clarity of our mind will be same as the picture states here. Everyone can see from the picture the difference. So to make plans, only after you have the clarity of goals. when you are undecided about your goals, you don't know what actually you want, so how can you make plans? Only after clarity of goals you can make plans. So your brain has to be that much efficient, that much clear vision you must have. You must not be in a mental dilemma always. And to make your brain cool, there are various procedures for that. You can do yoga, you can have a good surrounding around you of good people, of encouraging people around you, so that your brain will always have a very beautiful plan, not the negative emotions one. Okay, now for plans, there is one more question it will arise. So how to make plans for big goals? No doubt for small goals, we can make plan very easily and we can achieve it. But if the goal is very big, so how to make plan for it? If the goal is very big, then what we have to do is we have to just make it or break it into small goals. Big goals must be broken into small. When we make the goals very small, we feel happy inside, and finally we will try to complete our task in proper time limit, and finally our goal is achieved. Okay, let me make you understand with one more example. Suppose there's a man who need to reduce 24 kilo weights. So what he will do? It's such a tough task. It is a very big goal, because in our daily life we are so habituated with everything that we cannot just change our lifestyle and achieve that goal. Okay, from tomorrow I will not eat, I will not do that, I will do vigorously, I will do exercise. That will not make you successful. If 24 kilos you want to reduce, then you have to divide it into 12 and 12. So it will take 2 years for you. So as I have mentioned in the definition, the goals is something about time. It has a time limit. So you can set the goal for 2 years. In a year, you will just reduce 12 kg, and the next year you will reduce more 12 kgs. It will become so easy for you. Again, to reduce 12 kg is not that easy task. For 12 kgs, what you need to do is, again, you have to divide it into months, into weeks, and daily you have to work for it, for your goals. Daily, each day you have to work for it. You have to plan a proper diet for you. You have to plan how much exercise is needed. Everything you have to plan and jot it down somewhere. And each day you have to work for that. And finally you will observe that in a month you are reducing at least 1 kg. That will be your goal. See, first our question was, the big goal was for 24 kilos. Now what we are doing? In a month we are just reducing 1 kg. And finally in the year end it will be 12 kg reduced, already reduced. And in the next year we will follow the same routine, and slowly and steadily we will reach our goal. And it will be so easy for us to reach that goal, because by doing small things our brain get happy. Happy hormones start flowing in our brain. Let me tell you what are the happy hormones. Happy hormone is something known as endorphins. It is just secreted in our brain when we are very happy with our life. But if we deal with the big goals, then what will happen? The cortisol will start secreting in our brain, and finally we will get distracted. We will just cancel all our plans and we want to sleep. No, we need to break down the big goals into small and make the happy hormone flow inside the brain and achieve our goal. So we can see in the slide 2 the happy brain chemicals. It may be dopamine, serotonin, endorphin. These all are the happy hormones of our brain. So let's go to one more point, that is known as, that is the last but not the least point, measure progress. Whatever I have explained till now, first point was what? It was unlock the potentials. Then you have to take the charge. Then you have to make plannings, perfect plannings that too. And now it's a measure to measure the progress. After following, after doing all such things, what is your outcome? How you are progressing or not? If it is bad, never mind. You have to jot it down. What are your plus points and the negative points? Good and bad. You have to evaluate both. So what is the importance of progressing your measuring your progress is you will become more attentive, you will become more evaluative, and your listening skills will improve, your performance skills will improve. Suppose let us take an example for measure progress. If you are going to attend a meeting and while on the way I met you, I will say that today you are going to be observed. Then how will be your reaction? You will definitely set a goal there. You will evaluate yourself. You will evaluate yourself. Okay, everyone will be observing me. I should be more attentive. I should be more alert. I should listen carefully in the meeting. So finally doing this, what will be the advantage of that? You will be benefited. How you will be benefited? By improving your performance skills, because you are already alert. So measuring the progress, what you are doing or not doing, it will just improve your performance. Like in students, what happens? We keep on learning the whole year, but a final exam is there at the end of the year. Why that final exam? Why that annual exam is there? Because in this standard, whatever knowledge you have achieved, how successfully you are performing in the examination, that is rated. So in goal setting too, you have to rate yourself. Never mind if it is a bad point or good point, but you need to rate yourself. And for that, you have to set the benchmarks and scorecards for us. And finally, what will happen is that in your subconscious state of mind, it will just have a great impact, and continuously your thinking process will become so smart again. So this will help you achieve your goal very proper manner. Hope everyone understood my point. We have covered up all the points, and thank you so much everyone for being with me today. And I had a goal to share my wisdom with you about goals. So I recommend all of you to be the action taker in your life, and to become the Cristiano Ronaldo of your life. So thank you so much. Now the station is open for Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My God, Miss Monalisa, it was a power-packed session, and I am very much clear about how to set a goal, which is one of the most important things that we can and we should do in our life